Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is for our debate for SPCE 619 for the fall semester 2024. Let's get started.
Hello, everyone. My name is Samantha Harker. I am the school psychologist. Welcome, everyone, to today's child study team meeting. As you may know, there's a district-wide focus for implementing better collaboration between related service professionals in order to be above and beyond the compliance measures of FAPE. Before we begin, I would like to have everyone introduce themselves and their professional roles.
Hi, everyone. My name is Allison Salas, and I'm a special education teacher for kindergarten through second grade here in the district. My overall goal is to help students with their academic goals and integrate various related services into the classroom to help with their overall development. As the teacher, I can then work with families to implement strategies at home with the help of related service professionals. When everyone is on the same page, the student has less confusion, faster acquisition of skills, and a more rounded programming approach.
Hello, I'm Rosa Alvarez Perez. I'm the occupational therapist that provides OT services for the current students within this case. My role is to help enhance skills within daily living activities, self-care, productivity, and leisure skills while adapting the environment to enhance expressive receptive language, bilateral correlation, fine motor imitation by modifying prompting and developing self-care product. As an occupational therapist for children on the spectrum, OTs will typically assist with targeting children's sensory processing differences. By focusing on sensory processing, OTs are assisting with removal of learning barriers to help children regulate. Many of these skills can be practiced with the field of applied behavior analysis and become goals after discussing stakeholders and therapist preferences.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rebecca Peroy, and I am the speech language pathologist for the district. As an SLP, I work to prevent, assess, diagnose, and treat speech, language, social communication, cognitive communication, and swallowing disorders.
Everyone, I'm Olivia Cruz, and I am the board-certified behavioral analyst for the case. As a BCBA, I'm responsible for evaluating client needs and designing programs in a way that lessens challenging behaviors while teaching skills that will aid in success. BCBAs follow a reliable and well-defined approach that is best recognized by the usage of implementing popularized teaching strategies and behavior change technologies that are evidence-based in practice. Collaborative services as a whole are gaining popularity amongst healthcare workers, education, and clinical settings. Collaboration can aid in professional growth as well as be of great benefit to the child and their overall outcome. In the field of ABA, being a part of a collaboration team can support organizational systems to build culture awareness and responsiveness, as well as collaborative competencies.
As a school psychologist, I work with students, their families, and teachers to support students' emotional well-being and academic success. Communication between teachers and families allows for open communication and allows everyone to be aware of goals and any potential setbacks. I'm glad we are able to share our roles in the district. So our first question we need to explore is all about collaboration between professionals. So is collaboration beneficial to students in our care?
The BCBA's Ethics Code 2.10, Collaborating with Colleagues, states that BCBA should collaborate with other related service providers for the benefit of our clients. This includes addressing conflicts by compromising when possible and prioritizing the best interests of the client.
Collaboration between speech language pathologists and ABA practitioners can really boost outcomes for kids with communication challenges. They can team up to set shared goals that cover both communication and behavior, and keep each other updated on progress. By learning from each other in training sessions, they get a better sense of how to approach things together. They can also work on social skills to help kids use language in everyday situations. Regular meetings help them stay on the same page and adjust strategies as needed. Plus, they can provide families with consistent tips to support their child's growth at home.
According to Snyder and colleagues, common ground can be found if all parties express the desire to collaborate. Maximize students' outcomes are the likely results of effective interpersonal collaboration. Also, as an occupational therapist, I work on social skills as well. This is why it is so increasingly popular for OTs and speech therapists to have joint sessions with students.
So as a special ed teacher, implementing strategies from the SLP, the OT, the PT, or the BCBA, it allows for the child to master their skills faster and provides generalization of settings and people. The teacher then can work with the family to implement these set strategies at home with the help of related service providers. When everyone is on the same page, the student has less confusion and that their skills are able to be mastered in a quicker manner.
By combining our expertise, we can address both behavioral and communication needs in a coordinated manner. For instance, a child struggling with social communication may exhibit challenging behaviors due to frustration or lack of understanding. By integrating ABA strategies with speech interventions, we can create tailored support plans that address the root causes of both communication and behavioral challenges.
Collaboration allows for consistency in intervention strategies across different environments, such as home, school, and therapy settings. When behavior analysts and speech pathologists share insights and strategies, we ensure that the child receives a unified approach, reducing confusion and promoting generalization of skills.
Studies indicate that children who receive coordinated services from both behavior analysts and speech pathologists, they show greater improvements in both communication skills and behavior compared to those who receive those services in isolation. This highlights the power of teamwork in achieving better outcomes for our students.
As OTs, we foster effective collaboration. We must prioritize communication and mutual understandings, establish consistent meeting times to discuss student progress, share insight, and plan intervention collaboratively. This creates a space to open dialogue and foster teamwork.
As a school psychologist, participating in joint training sessions can help both behavior analysts and speech pathologists better understand each other's perspectives. This can honestly work for all members of the CST. When we set common goals for our students, we create a shared vision that aligns our efforts. This helps ensure that we are both working towards the same outcomes, reinforcing the support we provide. I think we can all agree that this is our overreaching goal. Looking at this from a behavioral intervention approach, something that has become a hot topic of debate in the past few years, what are your opinions of Broadhead's model?
This is the Broadhead model. This model not only serves as a guide for BCBAs, as it can be beneficial for each of us as well, working to collaborate together as part of a service team. This model provides strategies to systematically analyze proposed nonverbal treatment.
Because individuals we work with are oftentimes referred to non-behavioral services, and BCBAs may unintentionally ask questions that can erode professional relationships, Broadhead created a decision-making model in order to assist BCBAs in maintaining an ethical balance between professional relationships and the well-being and safety of the individual which they are both providing services to.
I think this model can be beneficial for everyone, not just BCBAs. It can help us determine if a situation that we're handling should be under our care or if we need to employ the help of others on the child study team.
Broadhead focuses on non-behavioral treatment, and I understand we don't all focus on that area of expertise. How does Broadhead's model ensure that non-behavioral treatments are assessed ethically?
So Broadhead's model emphasizes maintaining an ethical balance by carefully evaluating non-behavioral treatments in the context of the client's overall well-being. It guides us behavioral analysts to consider both the effectiveness of these treatments and their alignment with the client's values and needs. This model provides a structured framework to assess the ethical implications of integrating non-behavioral treatments into a client's care plan, ensuring that any recommendations are made with the client's best interest in mind.
This model can guarantee a balance ethically that potential effectiveness can be evaluated with a social validity survey administered by behavioral analysts or the practice of ethical behavior training with the service quality and appropriate of interactions of behavioral questions we will be asked, and with the practice of ethical behavioral training, non-behavioral areas are able to obtain ethical training relevant to the field of ABA, evaluating the risk of ethical violations. The practice of collaboration in both forms of therapy can work alongside to collaborate on the core principles to discover sensory behavior pragmatic. After identifying many of these skills can be practiced within the daily routine of teachers, ABA providers can adapt or modify the environment to implement skills taught by occupational therapists.
How can we have collaboration between school and clinical settings for our students who receive services outside of school?
So lack of communication can lead to delays in treatment. I've had issues in the past outside feeding therapists or other SLPs. Reaching out to such professionals can be challenging, especially if parents don't give permission. While waiting for diagnoses and wait lists, skill acquisition can be lost or delayed. Lack of collaboration can lead to confusion and stress for families and the students.
I definitely understand that. However, collaboration allows to both continuity and accessibility care to the families. This promotes effective communication and partnership across home, schools, and clinical settings.
There can be a mismatch between eligibility criteria and medical diagnoses, often causing collaboration to not occur. There can be a lack of defined roles and responsibilities of other providers to coordinate and limited infrastructure around sharing information.
I can relate to this as well, as it can be increasingly difficult to contact outside ABA agencies to get on the same page for students' behavior plans. I don't have anyone in my field to collaborate with in the school setting, so it can be really challenging to feel as though I am on an island.
Collaboration between behavior analysts and non-behavioral professionals can lead to conflicts regarding treatment approaches, priorities, and methodologies. These conflicts can create ethical dilemmas, particularly when balancing the best interests of the individual with differing professional opinions. What limitations should be made aware of when applying Broadhead's model in public school systems?
So unfortunately, public school systems often face budgetary constraints, and we have limited resources, which can make it increasingly challenging to fully implement Broadhead's model. Schools may have limited access to non-behavioral treatments or face difficulties in coordinating interdisciplinary care.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that it is important to work within these constraints, focusing on prioritizing interventions that offer the most benefit within the available resources and advocating for additional support where possible.
While our areas of expertise may differ, our ultimate objective is the same, which is to support the development and well-being of children with disabilities. Research has shown that when we work collaboratively, we can create a more holistic approach to intervention, which maximizes the strengths of both fields.
As providers within our unique fields, to teach skills that will help increase a child's ability to practice independently within daily living. By delivering services together via collaboration, jointly both disciplines can assess ASD individuals' uniqueness, strengths, and challenges by sharing certain treatment goals or developmental interventions to address needs within functional, behavior, or sensory needs.
Has anyone experienced negative interactions while collaborating with others?
Unfortunately, yes, some professionals may be resistant to altering their established practice to accommodate collaborative efforts. This resistance to change has led to tension and ultimately impedes the child's care.
Yeah, I've experienced some negative interactions as well. While collaborating with others, this can create like role confusion. Without clear definitions of roles and responsibilities, there can be confusion about who is responsible for what aspects of the child's care. Additionally, making time to work together can be challenging. With heavy caseloads, it can be difficult to manage the time to meet and discuss the client's needs.
In my personal experience, I've had a hard time at times working with professionals because unfortunately, people who are in like the speech therapy field, occupational therapy, physical therapy, they might not have an idea of how to handle unique student behaviors and their needs. Sometimes related service professionals don't have the same training in child development that like a BCBA would or a teacher would. Um, it can be hard to get people on board with ABA strategies if they're unfamiliar with the field because it does seem very daunting at times.
Yes, I agree. Collaborating with other professionals can be difficult when we all follow different ethical guidelines and adhere to different rules. For me, finding time to meet and having an environment to meet with other professionals can also be a struggle. Technology has helped with this barrier, but I often have a schedule at the school that is not flexible, and it is not a great environment to have other professionals come to me.
Yeah, so BCBAs typically work alongside clients for a little bit longer than other fields. And because of this, they may feel the need to raise questions to other professionals, which can sometimes be assumed as not being collaborative and can oftentimes raise conflict. BCBAs also don't always have the skills that are needed in order to work alongside of other professionals, just because there's a lack of training available for BAs when it comes to working with other professionals and maintaining those relationships aside from the families and clients.
How can conflicts in collaboration be resolved?
So I think that conflict can be resolved by addressing issues openly and promptly and focusing on the problem rather than the personal differences. The BACB's ethics code states that we need open communication with related service professionals just to ensure and benefit student outcomes.
I agree. I think if we did have monthly meetings about where we could talk openly and ensure open lines of communication, a lot of conflicts would be able to be resolved. Usually, if people don't have opportunities and space to communicate, that's usually when conflicts begin because there is like a mismatch in communication. So I definitely agree with about having monthly meetings.
Just like you all mentioned, with the practice of open communication, we can all discuss certain barriers that may arise. I also believe that by taking part in sessions, we are able to practice involvement and observe what each therapist is working on with the child.
How does Broadhead's model address the potential for biases in treatment selection?
So Broadhead's model addresses potential biases by providing a systematic framework for evaluating the effectiveness and appropriateness of various treatments. It encourages behavior analysts to consider a range of options and base decisions on empirical evidence rather than personal preferences and personal biases. The model also promotes ongoing assessment and reflection to ensure that biases do not unduly influence treatment decisions.
How can we ensure that our collaboration remains focused on the student's needs?
We can do this by establishing shared goals for the student and just knowing that that is key. We also can regularly review these goals and discuss the student's progress, which can help keep our efforts aligned and ensure that we are all addressing the individual's needs. One thing we also can start doing is having a shared document where we input student progress in our particular field.
I think it would be beneficial to have monthly meetings to discuss students' goals and how we can each implement them in our own structural settings. This will help with the practice of generalizations of the skills.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it would be very, very beneficial to have a dedicated time to meet to discuss progress.
I would love to have that time so that we can all collaborate. My only concern would be the office finding a substitute for my class. I know with related services, you guys can kind of move your schedule around to have open times. However, I unfortunately only have my lunch period or my prep period where I don't have students in my care. So unfortunately, if you guys can't meet during those times with me, the office would have to find a substitute for my class while I was gone. And unfortunately, we all know that schools are very short staffed nowadays. So that's something we would have to kind of work out with the office if we couldn't find like a common time that would work, unfortunately, with my schedule.
I understand that. We can definitely find a monthly time that works without sacrificing instructional time or requiring a substitute. What are some specific strategies that can be integrated from our respective fields?
So for the speech language pathologist, some strategies might include using ABA techniques to reinforce communication skills targeted in speech therapy, such as using visual supports or social stories. Conversely, speech pathologists can help develop language around behavioral expectations, making it easier for the child to understand and engage in social situations.
Personally, from my teaching perspective, I've learned a lot from related service professionals during my career. How I structure my classroom and handle behavior management. I've learned how to implement ABA strategies from our behaviorist, how I communicate with the students, specifically those with autism. I've learned from our speech therapists, how I incorporate sensory needs. I've learned from ROT and how I handle familial issues. I've learned how to handle those situations from our school psychologist. I think there's a reason we are called the child study team, and it's because we are a team and we have to find a way to work together regardless of all of our obstacles.
I think we all agree that collaboration between all of us is beneficial for all of us and the families and children that we are supporting. Incorporating collaboration between all of us is crucial in order to give our students and family the care they deserve. We are all able to communicate with the family and client more often during school than some of your other specialties.
Yeah, the collaboration between us is not just beneficial, it's essential for the success of the children we serve. By leveraging our combined expertise, we can provide comprehensive, effective, and meaningful support for students with ASD and communication challenges. Let's commit to breaking down silos and working together for the benefit of our students.
Yeah, I really couldn't agree more. And combining each of our skills just really allows for each child to receive the most effective care as possible. And I also think that it is important that when conflicts may arise, as we collaborate as a team, we really just try our best to set those aside in order to effectively provide services for our clients, because, you know, their success and outcomes heavily rely on us.
Just like you all mentioned, by practicing collaboration between all of our forms of approach, we are cultivating life skills to enhance the child's way of living along those whom are within the environmental setting. So having the client thrive and fulfill their full, to have the client thrive and fulfill their full potential to attain a sense of independence or develop new skills. Overall, our goal is to our main focus as a team who provides services is to help the child develop with the development.
One.
So overall, in conclusion, Broadhead's model presents a nuanced view of ABA, highlighting both its strengths and weaknesses. On one hand, supporters believe it offers a more well-rounded view of behavior by bringing in different perspectives. On the flip side, critics worry about how practical it is and fear it might water down the core principles of ABA. So we've learned overall in this discussion around behavior analysts as collaborative partners, it overall is beneficial. Partners underscore the importance of teamwork in enhancing outcomes for our clients. By working alongside other professionals, behavior analysts can include diverse expertise to create more effective interventions that address both communication and behavioral needs. So overall, through the negatives, we've discussed the benefits far outweigh the negatives of collaboration in ABA. So ultimately, striking a balance between ethical considerations, resource constraints, and collaborative approaches is crucial in the field of ABA. A thoughtful, integrated approach not only supports the best interests of our clients, but also fosters a more inclusive and effective therapeutic environment. As we navigate these, maintaining open communication and a commitment to ethical practice will remain vital to our success.